could be a very important piece of the boat locker. You realise that, don't you?
Hello again, all you scampanatics out there. Welcome back to the show. It's been a slow week this week. There's not been much going on. I've had to do some gardening and get the garden ready for the winter, so that's eaten up into the time for scamp building. But I have done a little bit of stuff. Got my little board that's showing what I've done. So I have had a good old tidy up in the shed and hoovered as well, so it was all getting a little bit out of hand. What I'm finding is that when I've sort of like only got an hour or maybe 2 hours after work to come out here, by the time I've got myself sort of waylaid and spent a couple of hours with my head down, I'm completely forgetting to tidy up after myself, or not giving myself the time to tidy up after myself. So at the end of the week, the shed's in an absolute right tip, so I have to spend a good few hours sorting all that out at some point. In terms of things I've actually done, I have permanently glued in the bow now, or the bow beam, the one that goes on the foredeck. So that's firmly stuck in place. I have stuck on the scamp ramp, which I'll show you that in a minute, and also the beam that goes on the roof. I'd noticed the starboard one was about 5mm too far outboard, and it's meant to actually sort of sit right next to the mast trunk. So I'm gathering that gives the sort of a little bit of extra sort of upright stability to the mast. And I didn't like it. My thought was to just fill it with a bit of wood, but then I thought that's really not going to be good enough, so I ended up taking it off and just completely redoing it, which I didn't do on camera because I thought that was probably going to be a little bit tedious for you to watch, but let me show you what I have actually done. So this is the offending beam. If I show you under here, there was a gap in here. You can see that this is designed to give some support to the mast as it goes up through the deck, and really make that solid at the top there. I thought that it was probably quite a critical thing, and it would have looked unsightly as well, because if you look from the stern here, you'll see that actually that's the bit of the boat that you look at quite a lot. And although most people wouldn't know that it's an error, every time I look at it, I'd have known that it was wrong. So, and then up on the bow here, I have epoxied that beam into place. Also put a shelf along here. This is in addition to the plans. That's not entirely necessary. You can just do it with a fillet, but I've seen other people do it that way, and I thought I wanted to have something for the rear end of the deck to sit on, just to provide that a little bit of extra support. Nobody's ever going to stand on the foredeck really, but it's better to have it over-engineered, I guess, than under-engineered. So, and then you see that bit comes out through, and I have stuck a nice little fillet. And this is called the scamp ramp. This is designed to help you locate the mast, so you can slide the mast foot in there and it locates it so that you can push it up with some leverage. So I've stuck the floor in that. That's going to need to get glassed and filleted, and then have another layer of this, what's it called? I've forgotten the word for it, but anyway, it's going to be black. So, right, okay, so that's what we've been doing. Plans for this week will be to hopefully do a bit of lofting. It's time to get those planks ready. So there's nothing for it. I have decided the only way forward is to do the lofting for the planks in the lounge while my girlfriend's out. Ta-da! Right. One tape measure, one square, and a pencil. So this is what I'm trying to recreate. These two top ones here. And I need to take the measurements on the plans for each of these 4 bits of planking and transfer them onto the piece of wood down here. Bloody studying the plans, you see. Right, so I can't really do any more towards the planks and the lofting and the cutting out because it's now winter time here and I'm going to have to do it all outside, for especially the cutting bit, and that means that I need daylight, and the only time I get daylight is at weekends. So moving on to something that I can do at night time, and that is installing another one of these. That's a drain plug. The boat will spend a good proportion of its time outside, and although I'm planning to have a cover over it, inevitably there's going to be times when there gets water in the boat while it's sitting on its trailer. So in order to avoid it filling up with water, then I would like to be able to open a drain plug at the lowest points of the boat so that any water that does get in can drain out. And for that I need to drill a hole in the bottom of the boat. Now I could just install this drain plug by drilling a hole in the bottom of the boat, whacking it in with some sealant. But that would cause a problem, and that would be, if you see, so we've got the bottom of the boat here. Okay, and we make a hole in the bottom of the boat, like that. And then we get our drain plug, which has a lip on it, and then the threaded top, and the same this side. Okay, so that's all very well, but what happens when it rains and the water comes into the boat? And it will drain out through the bottom of the plug here, but it will only drain out to there. And then we'll be left with, what is it, maybe 4 millimeters of water in the bottom of the boat. And that's not good because it'll be fresh water, and wood doesn't like fresh water. So we're going to have to do something a little more drastic. And that is, we're going to put in another layer of wood on the deck. So we'll have another sheet of plywood, and the sheet of the plywood will be bigger. So we'll have this hole here will be the same size as that bit that goes through the hole, and this hole here will be the same size as the drain plug. That means that we'll put the drain plug in. Actually, it'll only go to the bottom then. Okay, and then when it rains, the water will drain out fully through the hole, which is sitting flush with the deck top. It does mean that we have to put a big piece of wood in the deck, but I think it's worth it. A little bit of extra weight, but still, I think it'll be good to make sure that there's no fresh water sitting in the bottom of the boat. Okay, so here's the drain plug. I've cleaned it up a little bit. That is absolutely perfect. It's a beautiful tight fit into there. So now I can reveal what the plan is for the rest of the footwell. I've cut these lengths of wood here, and what they're going to do is one's going to go on that side, and then that one will go on that side to provide a level floor. And then I've got this one as well that's got these limber holes in it, and that one's going to go right down the middle like that, and then that will allow for a floor to go across there. It's going to be exactly the right size. That's just a temporary piece I'm using, and that will make the floor here level. This piece is going to have like a grating, so it's going to have holes cut in it to allow air to come in and out, and then it will also lift up to this level so that it can provide either a table for eating off of, or the base for the big bed that goes across the top of the bunks if you're sleeping two up. Which, to be honest, I doubt that's ever going to happen, but it'd be nice to have the option. I love it. Righto, so that'll be the end of the show for this week. Winter's set in firmly down over here in England now, which which means that there's very little daylight available for me to cut out the planks. It's going to have to happen one Sunday afternoon when it's not raining, and that could be, well, who knows when. But that has mean that I've had to move on to other things. I wasn't planning to do the footwell floor, but it has been on my mind as something that I want to do, and those little jobs are probably best to do before the planking goes on, because I'll get easier access to the centre of the boat without having to crawl in through the sides, or actually I'm going to have to get ladders in here at some point to get into the boat. So it's not such a bad thing that I'm getting these little jobs done. So I'd like to thank the 3 new subscribers that we've had this week. Sadly, I don't know who you are, because YouTube won't tell me. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. I don't know why, but thank you anyway for your subscriptions. We are getting very, very close to 100 subscribers now, and I'd really, really love to get up to that. So if you're watching and you've got this far and haven't subscribed, then please do press that subscribe button. If you are subscribed, or even if you're not, give me a like, would be great, because I do like to get that little bit of feedback from people that people are enjoying the show. I just want to say it's been an absolute pleasure to have you on board, and we will see you all again next time. Bye.